Hi guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Good afternoon from Delaware. Welcome to another live stream. This is the Diversity Visa Program period. Usually, the Diversity Visa opens in October and the entry period closes in around November. So this being the active entry period for diversity visa, I've been trying to come on live and do multiple videos so that I can help anybody who has questions about the diversity visa program or to give updates as they come through. So as we wait for people to join, good afternoon. My name is Lucy. I'm here in Delaware. Delaware is on the East Coast. Today is October 7th, 2025. I appreciate you joining. Let me know if you can hear me before we go too far. The last live that I did, I think it was on Sunday. I didn't have any audio issues. So thank you guys for letting me know that I didn't have any audio glitches. So comment below, let me know if my audio is good and where you are watching from as we wait for a crowd to gather. I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate you joining my lives. Recently, I've been trying to come on live as often as possible. Today, I am not live on TikTok, but I had already sent them a message to join us here on YouTube if they have any questions. So if you're on YouTube or on TikTok, I'm sorry, if you're on TikTok and you want to hear a little bit about you have questions about the diversity visa program, you're new to the diversity visa program and you want an insight about what happens, please come over to YouTube. My YouTube channel is Lucy Mwangi USA. Thank you guys for joining. I have comments from TikTok on my phone. Lots of questions from TikTok viewers and followers. So we're going to respond to those questions as well. That's why I have my phone here today. I don't think I have TikTok on my computer. I only have it on the phone, and I only have one phone. Maybe I should get another phone so that I can be recording on TikTok and also reading the messages. But that aside, welcome, guys. Welcome. If you can hear me, let me acknowledge people who are here. Um, Saina Godwin, nakupata fine. Uko wapi? Uko wapi? Watching from Nairobi. Karibuni, karibuni. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Divine Anyanu, when will the lottery start? Questions coming through. Real TBT Kenya, greetings. Getting you loud and clear. Karibuni, karibuni sana. So welcome to the live stream, guys. Welcome to the live stream. What DV questions do you have today? Going to do a Q&A later on in the live stream. Smart Hello from Ivory Coast, Abidjan. Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us from Christine Denny, Kisumu. Greetings. Karibuni, karibuni. Welcome, guys. So, what's on the agenda for today's live? This video, especially this live stream, is for anybody who's new to the diversity visa program. Like I said last time, I realized that every year there's somebody somewhere who has no idea what the DV program is. And some people, once they find out about it, they apply and they win. So you never know. You could be among those people that are finding out about the DV program this year. They apply because they have watched the videos and they know how to apply. And voila, they are winners. And before you know it, you find yourself in the United States. So, Kimera Godfrey, Karibu, welcome from Uganda. Hello, hello. So let's start from the beginning. So today we're going to talk about what is the DB lottery program, eligibility requirements, that is by country of chargeability and by education. We're going to briefly talk about the photo, although I feel like we really don't need to go so deeply in the photo because there's a video already that I've done. And I did, I think, a whole live stream about the DV photo requirements. Okay, but we'll touch a little bit on that. Also on this live stream, we will talk about how to enter, the cost, where to apply, any other questions you may have, and we'll go over your comments both on TikTok and on YouTube. So, to start with, what is the diversity program? Uh, the only website that you need, and the reason why I keep saying this in every live stream is because that is really all you need. You only need one website. If you go to that website, you will learn everything that there is to know about the diversity visa program, what you need to know to apply, the requirements, who can apply, who cannot apply. A lot of times we to do things, we want to achieve things, but we don't want to put in a little bit of effort to learn about that thing. So if you really want to know something, you can come from being so green about something, but if you read about it and you familiarize yourself with the processes of that thing, you become an expert within no time. Okay, so just go to dvprogram.state.gov. That is where to apply. And if you want information about the diversity visa program, uh, type on the chat. Type on the chat if you know the program. Where do you go if you know the website? Where do you go to apply for the diversity visa program? I already told you the answer, but type it there if you know what it is. And also, which website do you need to learn about the diversity visa program and any other visas that are available to the United States? So let me know in the comment section if you know those two websites. Where do you go if you want to apply for the diversity visa program, and where do you go if you want to learn about the visa processes? So let me know in the comments. So, what is the diversity visa lottery program? So, this is a government program. It's a program designed to promote diversity in the United States by offering a limited number of immigrant visas to individuals from countries with low rates of immigration in the United States. So, that means that every year, the United States gives about 50,000 visas to people from different in six different regions. So Kenya is one of those, Africa is one of those regions that heavily participates in the diversity visa program. We have a lot of people that have come through the diversity visa program. So you can bring your whole family here and start enjoying the privileges of having a green card, and then eventually the privileges of being a US citizen. Okay, because once you get the green card, then you wait for a few years and you can apply for your citizenship. So, what are the eligibility requirements? So, there are two ways that you can be eligible for the diversity visa. The first one is by education. So, the minimum required for entry as far as education is a high school diploma. So make sure you have a minimum of a high school diploma. If you're in Kenya, a high school diploma is a CSC certificate. I don't know what the new system is going to end up being, but they want uh, 8 years of primary education and 4 years of secondary education to make 12 years equivalent of high school diploma here. So make sure you have that. The other way that you can qualify if you don't have that is by work experience. So those are two ways, and we can go on that website and we'll look at that to see specifically what do they mean by work experience. The other way to qualify is by your country of birth or country of chargeability. So if your country is not eligible, then there's no need of you applying because you'll be disqualified. You won't be able to move forward. So depending on where your country is and the list that is produced every year of the countries that are eligible, then you can check to see if your country is eligible and then you can apply. So that's who can apply. So how do you apply? You apply by going to the website, dvprogram.state.gov. That's the website that you go to. So I see Somebody has already said travel.gov. So that's the website that you go to get information about the diversity visa program. If you just go to that website, and let me share it with you so that if somebody doesn't have an idea of what I'm talking about, then they can see. Some people who are seeing this information for the first time, if you go here to this website, travel.state.gov is the US Department of State website, and you go to US visas. If you go to US visas, you can learn about different kinds of visas, not just the DV. Okay? And if you scroll down, you can see different uh, documents about US citizen travelers, US citizen in an emergency. But what we want is to click on that US visas. So if you click on that US visas, it lets you go down here. And depending on what you need, what category of visa you're looking for, you'll scroll down. It tells you what a visa is. It has definitions of various things. So where to apply for a visa, it tells you that. But right now, we want to immigrate to the United States. We don't want to visit. We want to immigrate. So you click on the immigrate button. So once you click that, there are different categories of ways that you can immigrate to the United States. Uh, so it provides US provides immigrant visas based on family ties, based on employment, based on adoption, based on special immigrant categories, and the diversity visa. That's what we want. So when you go to that page, you want to go here, diversity visa. So once you click that, you'll see this kind of chart that flows like this. It tells you step by step what are the requirements, what are the steps from the time you submit your entry to after the interview. So it breaks it down into 10 steps. And the first step is submitting an entry. Lots of questions about when is the DV 2027 going to start. Believe it or not, I checked today. I didn't. There's no information yet, and we'll check together. We can check together. We change some, but as of 1 o'clock, when I was going live, there was no information about when the 2027 DV lottery is going to begin. So it tells you that there is a limited time period when you can register for the DV program during each fiscal year. Each year, the Department of State publishes detailed instructions for entering the DV program. So, on the last live, I showed you the 2026 DV program instructions, and we went over that. So, if you want to go and look at that, you can go to that video and check it out. Or you can just go to this website, click on this hyperlink here, it will take you to the instructions. And then it tells you that on that instruction page, it will include the dates of the registration period during which you will be able to enter. So for right now is radio silence. We don't know when. All entries must be submitted electronically on this website. So once you click there, it takes you straight to this page. Once you get on this page, you'll be able to enter. Because it's not open yet, as you can see, there's still details about 2026 DV and nothing about 2027. Once you get the correct information updated, you'll be able to apply here. So this is the only place where you should be applying once it gets activated. Okay, so the portal right now is not open. All right. So that's the only place that you need to go. All right. So no late entries or paper entries are accepted. The law allows only one entry by or for each person during each registration period. And so that answers the question who can apply. It's just one person per entry, unless you are married, which on the instructions it tells you if you're married, that means you're legally married. You can submit as a husband and add the wife, and then the wife can submit as the wife and add the husband and your children. All right. So once you submit, you will get a confirmation number. But before that, in bold, it tells you that this website does not become active for submitting an entry until the date and time specified on the instructions page. And that's why everybody's in limbo, because without that information and without those specific dates, we can't move forward. You guys cannot apply. So let's just wait and see, excuse me, what happens. So once you submit, you will see a confirmation screen containing your name and a unique confirmation number after you submit a complete entry. Make sure you print this confirmation screen for your records. It is extremely important that you retain your confirmation number. Why is that? Because you will need your confirmation number to check the status of your entry, and you will need it to get further instructions or schedule an interview for a visa if you are selected. All right, so make sure you safeguard your confirmation number. So one thing I can add, let me stop sharing for right now. One thing that I can add is that there might be changes for 2027. And until we get final details, we can only speculate. And speculation, people are allowed to speculate, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to submit your entry if that portal is not open. So one thing I think that they're going to add is the $1 fee, and they're going to tell us how we're going to pay for that. And then another thing that I'm suspecting they're going to add is the passport requirement. But because none of those two things have been confirmed, right now we can only talk about what has been going on historically. So for right now, you need the confirmation number after you submit the entry. I'm assuming that they will let you like move or direct you to another portal where you'll be able to make your payments. So depending on where you are, they said it's a debit card or a credit card. Assuming you can also use a prepaid card. A prepaid card means that you might not have a bank account, but you can put some money in that card and it will have the 16-digit numbers, just like a regular credit card, and you can use that to make a payment. So even if you don't have a bank account, as long as you have that card that has the numbers and then it has the security code, then I think you should be able to pay. The other question that people are asking is, what if somebody else pays for me? I don't think your payment information is linked to the person that is paying. So to the person that is applying. So I think somebody else can pay for you. For example, if somebody applies for you like an agent or your family member applies for you, they can use their credit card if you don't have a credit card. Some people don't have a debit card, they don't have a credit card. Okay. So once you do that, and this video is specifically for people who are new to the diversity visa program, and because I don't have any further updates about the 2027 DV, there's nothing else that has changed since my last live. But I realized that there are people who are still asking the question, what is the DV? What is a case number? What is 2NL? What is, it's like they've never heard any of these things on anywhere. So because of that, I decided to just start from the beginning so that if there's anybody out there who is trying to learn about the diversity visa program, they have the resources of where to go. All right. So travel.state.gov is the website that you will need for a step-by-step instruction on how to apply. I'm speculating that they will have to make changes on that on that particular page, especially for the information about applying, because they will have to update things about making a payment and the passport requirement. So after you it goes to the next step. The next step is selection of applicants. How do they select the applicants? So each year, the Department of State conducts a random selection of diversity immigrant visa applicants based on allocations of available visas in each region and country from all registered entries. So after that year is over, the next year around May is when the winners are announced. The winners are announced. So you complete your entry between October and November, and then the winners start being announced on May, around beginning of May of the following year. So that's step two. It is important to note that this is a random machine generated selection. So for those of people who are asking, what if I apply? Which day is the best day to apply? I don't know. I don't think it matters because at the end of the day, all those applications will be considered. Some will be rejected depending on whether the photo was bad, did not meet qualifications, or maybe they applied and they were not supposed to apply because of their country is not eligible, or maybe they applied, I don't know. Some of those applications will be rejected. So at the end of the day, 55,000 visas will be offered, or they'll be available to be offered. Although some years we have, like last year, I think, when I was looking at the numbers, last year, even if they say 55,000 will be available, only about 48,000 were given around and about. So just know that the selection is random. That's what I'm trying to say. So, you will not need any connections. You don't need to know anybody in the Department of State to push your number or to push your application. No, it just depends on your luck and if you follow the, the eligibility requirements and all the other photo requirements and whatnot, you raise your chance of winning. They say in bold that the Department of State will not mail notification letters to notify selectees by mail. U.S. embassies and consulates will provide a list of selectees. Entrant status check on the EDV website is the only way by which the Department of State notifies selectees of their selection. Those not selected will also receive notification only through the entrant status check. You are strongly encouraged to use the entrant status check yourself and not rely on someone else to check and inform you. Okay. So usually they have a thing like this where they announce that the results are now available. And it always looks like this from the time I started looking at it. The results of the Diversity Visa 2025 selections will be available starting May 4th, or something like that. So that's how they announce. And then we move on to the next step. So let's say you go to that portal and you find that you have been randomly selected to proceed with the application for the diversity visa or diversity visa processing. Okay, so congratulations, you have been selected. So what do you do next? Like I said, if you're new, this is the perfect way to educate yourself on how the DB program works. So it's encouraged that entrants who have been selected should complete the online DS260 application immediately to schedule an interview appointment at the appropriate US embassy or consulate. So depending on your country, you will choose an embassy or consulate where you would want your interview to be. Complete the DS260, which is the application for an immigrant. So being selected does not mean that now because you've been selected, you're going to automatically be given a visa. So now there's a process of visa application that you have to follow, which includes paying a fee of $330. Okay. So it tells you all this information, where to go, and how to complete the DS260. So people were asking, what is the DS260? What is this and what is that? This is where you get all that information. So make sure you familiarize yourself. Okay? Make sure you familiarize yourself. This is where the communication of the 2 and L once you have been selected So complete the DS-260 so that they can contact Kentucky Consular Center, process it, and so that you can have a visa available for you. I want to mention that once you get selected, you're assigned a case number. So once you get that case number, you will use that case number for all your correspondence with the U.S. Embassy and I mean, with the, yeah, your U.S. Embassy in your country and also with the Kentucky Consular Center. So make sure you have that. Okay. All right. So after that, uh, so when submitting your DS-260, let me stop sharing so I can explain this. When submitting the DS-260, okay, uh, you have to know a few things before you start applying. So there's information that you need to be aware of. You need to know, like from the get-go, how am I applying? Okay, even when you're entering the DV, are you married? Those are important questions that you should be asking yourself. I'm not saying that you may not know whether you're, but by American standards, are you married? You have a marriage certificate. If you don't have a marriage certificate and you cannot present it at the embassy appointment, then you're not married, you're single. Okay. If you are single, then that's good. You can be single, but also have children. So there are different options. So married, with children, married without children, single with children, or single without children, or you are legally separated, or you are legally divorced. So those are the options. So know that when you're completing the DS-260. So make sure you have information about you and all the applicants that you're going to add on that DS-260. All right. I'll come to your questions once I finish those steps. So the next thing that you need to be aware of once you, as you wait, as you continue to apply or to apply for the visa. The fourth step is confirming your qualification. So the Diversity Immigrant Visa Program requires the principal DV applicant to have a high school education or its equivalent or 2 years of qualifying work experience as defined under provisions of US law. If you do not have either of these or work experience, you are not eligible for a DV. Only you, as the principal applicant, must meet this requirement. Yeah, by the way, that was a question. That was a question from somebody on TikTok. Do they need everybody's high school diploma? Do they need my wife's if I'm married? Or do they need my husband's, high school? If I'm the main applicant, that's my information. They need me to be qualified through education and or through work. Okay. Your spouse and children do not have to meet this requirement. In bold, they said, you should consider not pursuing a DV application if you do not meet the qualifying education or work experience requirements explained below, as you may not be eligible for a diversity visa and any fees that you pay for the visa application will not be refunded. So that was another question from, I think, from YouTube. Somebody asked, am I going to be refunded that money if I don't get the visa? No, the visa fees are not refundable. So we are concurrently answering the questions and also reviewing the steps. Okay. So let's talk about high school education. A high school education means successful completion of a formal course of elementary and secondary education, comparable to a 12-year course here in the United States. Only formal courses of study meet this requirement. Equivalency certificates such as a GED are not acceptable. For the work experience, for those people who are saying, okay, I don't have a high school diploma, how else can I qualify? If you're qualifying with work experience, 2 years of experience in the last 5 years, 2 years of experience in the last 5 years in an occupation which by the U.S. Department of Labor definitions requires at least 2 years of training or experience. Designated Job Zone 7 4, Job Zone 4 or 5, classified in a special vocational preparation SVP rating of 7 or higher. It's important, and I can do a video separately on this. That will take us to this, what you call it. It takes us to this website again of how to qualify, the ONET online database, onetonline.org. So if you want to know that your job, whether or not your job qualifies you, that's if you don't have a high school diploma, you need to go to this website and it guides you on how to go there and how to, here are the steps on how to go there and put in your job, your job description or find your job title and put it there on that website and see if you qualify. So these are two things that you need to be looking at. The job zone should be 4 or 5, and the SVP rate should be 7 or higher. If it's below uh, job zone 4, or if it's below SVP rating of 7, or I mean less than 7, then you don't qualify and there's no need of proceeding because you're not going to be eligible. So if you want to know how you qualify through work, you can check this out. I can do another video on that, and then we can go on that website and try different titles and different job titles and see which one qualifies and which one doesn't. All right, moving on for step 5. Submit your immigrant visa and alien registration application. So the principal applicant and all family members applying for a DV must complete Form DS-260. And if you click on this, it takes you to a link where you can complete that. You will need to enter your DV case number. Remember, I was talking about once you get selected, you get a specified unique number. That is your case number. And it begins with your, what does it begin with? The DV year, the region, it has that information. It has the DV program year, your region. For Africa, it will be AF. For 2026 will be like 2026 AF, and then some numbers following that. So that is your case number. It's your unique identifier as a participant and a selectee of the DV program. So once you put in the case number onto the online DS-260, then you can put in your information and that of your dependents. If your family circumstances have changed after you entered the diversity visa program, this is important. For example, if you married or had a child, you will need to add your new family members to your case. Family member refers to a spouse and or unmarried children who had not reached age 21 before you entered the DV program. So this is where educating yourself and going to read the instructions helps, because you don't want to be doing things and paying this money and doing the wrong thing, because this money is not refundable and it's a lot of money. Not everybody just have $330 just laying around to waste. And if you have family, multiply that by the number of people you're adding to that entry. It's not small money. So be careful and read, educate yourself, learn what you need to do so that you don't waste your money. All right. You will need to upload a document to prove your relationship to the family member being added. This one, I think they should remove this because we don't upload documents anymore. I think the only thing that we are uploading right now, unless they add the passport, is a photo. Okay. And photos for everybody. There is a big disclaimer here that says failure to include an existing spouse or children on your original entry may make you, as well as any of your family members, ineligible for a DV. Similarly, listing a spouse or children or a child on your original entry form who was not actually your spouse or child may make you as well as the family members ineligible for the DV. So if your circumstances have changed, that is acceptable. But if you're just not saying the truth, then you're going to be disqualified. Okay. All right. It gives you a tip here that on the sign and submit page of the DS260, you will need to re-enter your DV case number without the zeros. For example, if the case number is 2023 AF 00001235, only enter to 2023 AF 12345. So don't add the zeros because that will generate a validation error. Okay. Once again, after completing the DS260 online, print the confirmation number. You must bring the confirmation number to your interview. Okay. Be aware that KCC can only tell you if your form has been processed. They cannot tell you if you or your family members are eligible for the diversity visas. Only the consular officer who interviews you can make that decision. And that's why they say that you should take your paperwork, the documents, the confirmation page of the DS260, your passports, your birth certificates, your marriage license, your photos, what else do the fees that you paid for the visa, the receipt of that. That's why you take all that stuff, your high school diploma, just to verify that you're who you say you are. And then they will ask you a few questions related to the DS260 and the reason, what you'll be doing here in the US, and just verification questions. Okay, your host and all that. So be sure to have the documents because that is just a verification process when you go to the interview. A lot of people panic and they're nervous about their interviews, but you've already done the biggest chunk of the job. You've already done the work. All you have to do is just present yourself and your documents and answer the questions. Pata visa yako, ukiendaga, sindio? And I wish you all the best, especially for the 2026 DV lottery people who are going now for their interviews. All right. I hope you guys, thank you for staying with me. I'm making this video not just for this live, but also as an archive so that I can put it on my other videos so somebody can come back later and find out what the process of the DV is if they are new and they don't know anything about the diversity visa. So after that, step 6. So you have submitted your DS260, you followed the instructions. What do you do next? You prepare supporting documents. So DV selectees are not required to submit supporting documents to KCC for fiscal year 2024 and onward. Before, they used to tell you to upload documents for your partner and all that. But now you will take those documents when you go to the interview. Okay. Selectees are still required to submit the DS260 application form. Okay. After KCC received and processes the DS260 application form, for you and your accompanying family members, you will receive instructions on how to submit required supporting documents. Okay. All right. So some of the documents that you will need to have. Okay, just to prepare this, have a file, a folder, have these documents, because part of the DS260 asks these questions. Okay, birth certificate. Make sure you have birth certificates for you and the people who are in your DS260. Okay, and it tells you different scenarios and what to do. If you have been if you've committed a crime, you've ever appeared in court, you have any prison records, make sure you bring those. You will have to explain yourself a little bit. If you're in the military, bring your records. If you have, you are required to get police reports and police certificates. Make sure you get those and read about what entails in the police certificates, when you should get it and where you should get it. Okay, it gives you all that information. I don't need to read all of it. You can just go and see what is a police certificate, where do I get it, when am I required to get it, if I'm a visitor in a different country, how long do I have to have lived there for them to require a police report. Okay, and then the passports. You will need the passport for you and everybody who is included in the DS-260. The next step is the interview itself. So after KCC, which is Kentucky Consular Center, has reviewed your completed DS-260, you may receive an email from KCC to let you know that an interview has been scheduled at the U.S. Embassy or Consulate you selected on your DS Form 260. Okay, this is the second notification letter for guys who are asking me, what is 2NL? What is 2NL? What is 2NL? 2NL is an email. It is just an email that will instruct you to log on to the entrance status check on the electronic diversity visa website using your DV entry confirmation number to view the date, time, and location of your interview. That is the second notification letter. So many people asking me, what is that? What is the second notification letter? What is the second notification letter? That's the second notification letter. Okay, I don't know if I shared that or not, but let me go back and see. I don't think I shared that. I want to show you that one. After Kentucky Consular Center reviews your DS-260, you may receive an email from KCC to let you know that an interview has been scheduled at the U.S. Embassy or Consulate you selected on your DS Form 260. The email will instruct you to log on to the entrance status check on the electronic diversity visa ADV website using your DV entry confirmation number to view the date, the time, and the location of your interview. So a lot of people asking me, how am I going to know where my interview is, what time? That second notification letter gives you that information. And then it tells you to go for medical and where to go for that. So it says everyone in your family applying for a diversity immigrant visa will need to be present at the interview or to be interviewed at a later date in order to receive a visa. This includes you, your spouse, and children as applicable. So lots of questions asking me, are we all supposed to go for the interview? Whoever is in that DS-260 needs to schedule an interview. You may not go all at the same time, but they will need to be interviewed at some point in order for them to receive a visa. No interview, no visa. So if you're not able to come with your family right away, make sure that there's a plan to schedule them for a visa interview at a later date, and then make sure that you're bringing them into the US within 6 months of the medical. Okay. All right. It says that you should note that you will only be scheduled for an interview when and if there is a visa number available for you. Visa number allocations are determined by provisions of the Immigration and Nationality Act, which determines the number of diversity visas available each year. So this is what it means that your case number is current. For people who are asking me, what does it mean? And they're sending me screenshots because they have been emailed by Kentucky Consular Center saying that your case is current, and now you should wait for your embassy to contact you for a visa interview. I have got like 5 or 6 screenshots of people who have received those emails. So that means that your case is current, there's a visa available for you, and you should just wait for you to be called or to get that second notification letter. Okay. All right. So once you get your second notification letter, you'll go to that portal and you will see the details of what you need to do and where to go for your medical. All right. After that, the next step is prepare for the interview. Okay. So it tells you what documents that you will need, schedule a medical examination. You and each family member applying for a visa are required to schedule a medical appointment with an authorized physician in the country where you'll be interviewed. You must complete your medical examination along with any required vaccinations before your scheduled interview date. When your medical exam is completed, if you're given a medical exam envelope, you must bring it sealed, not opened, to your visa interview. Some physicians, a lot of them, will send the medical exam results directly to the embassy or consulate. So if you just read this, you just took one day and read through this, you will have like 80% of an idea of what you need to do. So you have to go to an authorized physician and they will tell you where to go. Kenya is IOM, Ghana, I think Johnny had told me there's two of them. I don't remember which ones, but they will tell you to choose from a list. And if it's only one, they will tell you where to go. So make sure you follow those instructions. All right. And it tells you where to go and what you need. Okay. You will need your appointment information, DS-260 confirmation page, your passport, and all these other documents that they're asking for. So once you do once you do all this, the next thing that you will need to do is, prior to your interview, to ensure that you have followed U.S. Embassy and Consulate interview preparation instructions. Once again, read the instructions that you have received from your own embassy. Now it's not from KCC. Now the ball is on the court of your embassy, and they're now the ones giving instructions. So KCC is done with your case, and you should be following instructions from your embassy. On the scheduled date and time of your appointment, go to the U.S. Embassy or consulate. A consular officer will interview you and accompanying members, beneficiaries, and determine whether or not you can receive an immigrant visa. As part of the interview process, ink-free digital fingerprint scans will be taken. So for those of you who are asking me, when do I do my biometrics? So this is the time, is during your interview. Who must attend this interview? Okay. You, your spouse, and any unmarried qualified children immigrating with you must participate in the interview. If your spouse and or qualified unmarried children will immigrate at a later date and travel separately from you, they are not required to participate in your own interview. They will be scheduled for a separate interview appointment. You should contact the U.S. Embassy or consulate directly to arrange separate interviews if needed. So they are not saying that you cannot go separately. All they're saying is that you have to let the embassy know your intentions, because they don't know. Let them know your intentions so that arrangements can be done in a timely fashion. Because as we say, the DV lottery program only lasts for a short period of time. And once it's over, like we've seen for 2025, a lot of people were wameachwa nje. A lot of people have been left outside because of different reasons. So do your part. Do your part. What to bring to the interview? Okay, this is important. This is important because you don't want to wake up so early or whatever and then get there and then you realize that, oh, I don't have this thing. I don't have this thing. Like I said before, once you start your application process, start a folder or a binder somewhere. Be putting in the paperwork that you need so that by the time the interview time is coming, you're just going to verify to make sure you have everything you need. And then unachukua your envelope and you go to the interview. You'll be confident knowing that you're prepared. Okay. Bring your appointment letter. Your appointment information from the entrance status check. Make sure you print that and bring it. The DS-260 confirmation page, print that and bring it. Passport for each applicant, and an expired passport valid for 6 months beyond the intended date of entry into the US. So don't bring a passport that will expire soon. Photographs, you will bring the photographs. Medical exam results if they have not already been submitted. Original and supporting documents for education, work requirement, marriage certificate, termination, marriage, like divorce papers, custody documentation. The originals will be returned to you when the interview has been completed. Photocopies will be kept. If you need English translations, make sure your documents have been translated into English. Okay, and then the visa fees. If you did not pay your visas online prior to your interview, you will need to pay the fees before speaking with a consular officer. Okay, so, and it has different scenarios, additional information if you need to reschedule your appointment, if you'd like your spouse and children to follow you to the United States after you immigrate, can they do that? Okay. This was a question, so let me answer that while I'm here. You can do that, but remember that all diversity visas for the fiscal year must be issued by September 30th. Available visas for some countries and regions may be used up prior to that date. In addition, once all available diversity visa numbers have been allocated and used, the program must conclude for that year. Case in point, 2025, a lot of people frustrated because they did not follow the instructions and the timelines. For these reasons, if you and your spouse and children delay obtaining their visas, they may lose their opportunity to immigrate on the basis of their diversity visa applications. If this happens, you will need to file a petition to bring your family to the United States at a later date. If they do not obtain diversity visas prior to September 30th or before the annual limit is reached, your spouse and or your children may have to wait several years to join you. So make sure you read this additional scenarios, read these frequently asked questions. And the other question was, what if my child is turning 21 soon? So children generally must be unmarried and under 21 to qualify as derivative applicants. So for them to be your dependent, they have to be under 21 and they have to be unmarried. Also, they generally must use their visas to enter the United States while still under the age of 21. Okay, but they're saying that if you have a child who will be turning 21 soon, you should immediately contact the US Embassy or Consulate where your interview is scheduled. The US Embassy or Consulate will determine whether an earlier appointment is needed. If your child no longer qualifies to immigrate with you based on age, then a separate petition must be filed for the child after you immigrate. So lots of information here, lots of information about what to do and how to do it. So I know I've been talking for a long time, but this is the last step. I wanted to go over these steps so that somebody somewhere can know what to do as we continue to wait for the DV 2027 entry. So it will be like easy. It will be easy for them to apply. So you go for the interview, you are asked all these questions, and most of the questions will be coming from the DS-260. At the end of the interview, the consular officer will inform you whether your visa application is approved or denied. So here's the scenario. If your visa is approved, you will be informed how and when your passport and visa will be returned to you. For the most part, it's a DHL or one of these parcel packaging places that they will send your passport there. You have to leave your passport there so that they can stamp the visa on it. Then you'll pay the fees for the packaging and then for the delivery. If your visa is denied, you will be informed why you are ineligible to receive a visa. Okay. And then some visas are placed on administrative processing like 221G. If they put you on that, it's because they need to verify something. Maybe your documents are not all together or they're still waiting for something. So they will not deny you, but they're not approving it. So hopefully, after you submit whatever paperwork or whatever information they need, you can get your visa approved. When you receive your visa, congratulations. I always tell people, even if you applied for DV and you have not received your visa, even if you won, you have not seen or received your visa in your hand, it's not in your hand yet. Keep applying for the next year. For the following year, make sure you put in your entry, because you never know. You never know until you get your visa. So when you receive your visa, your diversity visa will be placed on a page in your passport. It will be stamped on it. Review the printed information right away to make sure that there are no errors. Contact the embassy or consulate immediately if there are any spelling errors, spelling of your name, wrong date of birth, anything like that. So make sure you check. You will be given a sealed packet. It's like an envelope containing documents that you must present to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection at a port of entry, often at an airport. Upon your arrival in the United States, you must not open this sealed packet. Don't open it. I know we are curious. We want to see what's in there, but please don't open it. They'll know if the seal is tampered with. So please keep that closed and sealed. When should you travel? You must arrive and apply for admission in the US no later than the visa expiration date printed on your visa. A diversity visa is usually valid for 6 months. For those who didn't know, if you thought the diversity visa is forever, it's not. It's valid for 6 months from the date of issuance unless your medical examination expires sooner, which may make your visa valid for less than 6 months. So going by your medical, when you had your medical done, don't wait too long because you don't want it to expire. Make sure you come to the US before that. USCIS immigrant fee. You must pay this fee after you receive your immigrant visa and before you travel to the US. Okay, is so that you can get your green card. Vaccination records. If you have children that are going to come to school in the US, they need vaccinations. X-rays, your chest X-rays done. Do not pack them in your luggage. Make sure you have them in your carry-on or your personal items. All right, so now we have the visa and we are traveling. We've already done our mchangos, or we have money. We paid for the flights, and we are ready to come to the United States. When traveling to the US, the primary or principal applicant must enter before or at the same time as family members with visas. So if I'm the one that was the main applicant, and let's say I was married, right? And I have 6 children. I don't have 6 children. If I had whatever number of children, then I have to enter the US first. If they are coming behind me, I cannot send my husband before me because he's not the main applicant. I cannot send one of my children before me or send my children and say, okay, I'll follow you. No, I have to be the one to initiate the entry. I have to be either come with them at the same time, or I come alone and they follow me. Okay. With your diversity visa before it expires and your sealed envelope, come with your diversity visa before it expires and your sealed envelope. You will travel to a port of entry. For example, our nearest airport here is Philadelphia, and request permission to enter the United States. All right, here's where it gets tricky. Having a visa, although I keep saying don't celebrate too much until you get a visa. Yes, it's worth celebrating when you get a visa. I'll be very excited if I got the visa. But do not lose your, don't let your guard down. Make sure you're still following the instructions until you are allowed entry into the US. A visa does not guarantee entry to the United States. It's important to say that because some people have been returned back or denied entry to the US. Why? Because the Department of Homeland Security, US Customs and Border Protection officials have the final authority to grant you or deny you admission. Make sure you learn about admission and entry requirements on the CBP website under travel. Please be familiar with what is going on at your port of entry. Do not do do not carry things that will make it suspicious for you. They might ask you for your phone. They might ask you to open your phone to check your social media. They might ask you whatever. Make sure there is no compromising information against the US government or things of the sort. Make sure you're not carrying illegal stuff into the country. Make sure you're good. Make sure that everything is okay. If your social media has stuff there that is not supposed to, clean that stuff off. Clean it out, and make sure you and your family are good to enter. All right. If you're admitted, you will enter a lawful permanent. You'll enter as a lawful permanent resident, also called a green card holder, and will be permitted to work and live permanently in the USA. Congratulations. Because before they stamp your visa, you are just a DV winner. Okay. So the difference between you becoming a lawful permanent resident or a green card holder and just a regular DV winner is that stamp at the port of entry. Once they stamp your visa or whatever document that they're going to give you, that is the one that gives you now the title of a green card holder. Welcome to the United States. Congratulations, you and your family. You'll be ushered in to the United States. But once they're done with that, it is not their responsibility to figure out where you're going. You will have to have that information. You'll have to have your host ready to pick you up. It is not their responsibility to give you a ride to your host. They are not responsible for you. Okay. So once your host picks you up, then that's a different video about how you're going to move on from there. When you are a permanent resident, you're coming to the US to live permanently. You're not just coming to visit. You will want to learn more about your status as a lawful permanent resident. There is a welcome guide for new immigrants. Make sure you review that because you're starting a new life here for you and your family. And trust me, it's different. It is different. You'll be assigned a social security number. You might have to go to their website and apply, and then they will send it to you. They send you to the address that you gave for your host. So make sure that you follow that website. I love that website because it gives you loads of information about what to do from A to Z. From the moment you are completely clueless, you don't know about the diversity visa, to the time that you are ushered in or you're welcomed to the United States through the port of entry. So if you're new, I've been talking for 1 hour. I'm sure you have now a better idea of how the DV process works. I wanted to mention that the diversity visa program follows the United States fiscal year, not physical year, fiscal, FISCAL. The United States fiscal year starts on October 1st and ends on September 30th. And that's why in a lot of videos and in a lot of publications, they say, do not be late. The cutoff is September 30th of the DV, September 30th of whatever year. So the DV program follows that. So for the 2026, they have just started processing the visas because it's only, what's today? It's only October 7th. So they have just started the processing. This will go on until next year, September 30th. So I hope tumeelewana hapo as far as how the DV program works. So let me see if you have any questions. I'm gonna go start from the beginning because I've been talking. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Today is Tuesday here in Delaware. It's about 2:40 p.m. Ni saa ngapi huko? What time is it where you are? What time is it? Okay. Innocent. Did they need passport to apply for 2027? They've not announced that yet. We don't know. We have not applied. Nobody has started applying for 2027 DV yet. Family. My case number is 14,000. Okay. What about the shutdown? Are they filled us? The shutdown should not affect the diversity visa programs. We're just waiting for them to make the amendments so that they can post the DV entry period. Saina, if you win the DV, it's possible. Is it possible for you to take your family members, brothers, and sisters? No, no. The DV program. I'm sure after I went through all those steps, most of these questions have been answered. The DV program is just for you family members, and the family members were defined as you, your spouse, and your qualified children. So no brothers and sisters under this particular category of visas. Ahmed, I'm from Ethiopia. Please give me some information about DV photo and cloth. So for the DV photo, make sure that you follow the instructions on the travel.state.gov website. There's a whole section about DV photo requirements, which also has pictures, good pictures, bad pictures, what to wear, what not to wear. So if you want to go there on that website, it will give you information. I also have a full video. It's a short video, and it shows you what to wear, what not to wear, the dimensions for the photo, the resolution, the size, and what you should be facing. It should be, the background should be white or off-white. The dressing, even like this, I can wear this and still take a photo. I would not wear my glasses. I will have to remove that. But my face needs to be seen. If you have religious clothing that you have to wear, make sure that your face is still visible, okay? But make sure those are clothing that you wear on a daily basis. So it's not your uniform, not the uniform. It's just something that you wear on a daily basis and just casual wear. Don't put on headphones or earbuds. If you have hearing aids, you can wear those. Coffee Riams, just joined the live. Is application open for DV27? Not yet, not yet. We're still waiting. Lala, I wish to have both the passport rule and the $1 right now. You want those two to be implemented? Let me see what you mean. I wish both the passport rule and $1 online payment are both introduced altogether. It will help to remove the fraud in the DV lottery. That's the plan. That's what they thought it was going to happen. So we'll see what happens. Guys, share the live, please. If you know somebody who will benefit from this, make sure you share the live and the link so that they can watch it either now or later. Thank you. I appreciate that. Smart Hicks, if selected, is it possible to get married and add your girlfriend in the DS260? If you're selected. So you don't add them after you get selected. Unless you got married. If you got married after you got selected, that's okay, because you can add them on the DS260. The timing is everything. If I'm just your girlfriend right now, okay, and we are dating. Maybe you said you're going to marry me, and then you didn't tell me that you're applying for the diversity visa. Okay. And then I find out that you have been selected. You applied alone. You did not add me. You just applied on your own as single. And then you marry me. Okay. If you marry me after you've been selected and you say that you are married, then that is not okay. That is not okay. But if we are married, let's say we get married today, and then tomorrow you decide to enter the DV program, then you say you're married, then that's fine. That's fine. Okay. But let's say you say that you're single. Okay. You say that you're single, or you say that you're married. Let's say you say that you're married, but you're lying. We are not married yet. But because you want to bring me after you get selected, then you add me later. But the marriage certificate will show a later date. So that will show that you are not saying the truth. And if they really want to dig, if they want to to do the nitpicking, then they can refuse you a visa. So the timing is where it becomes tricky as far as the DV, DS260 and the entry. Kijana Maju, is passport rule going to be passed? We don't know yet. We're waiting. Talk on how immigrants can transition in the US freely. How immigrants can transition in the US. So it depends on your ability to adapt quickly, because you'll have different things to adapt. You have to adapt to the weather, to the language, to the food, to the currency, to the US systems, the job market, so many things to adapt. So your ability to be able to adapt quickly, that will come a long way. And also to just know that the challenges will be there, but they don't last forever. Find a community, maybe get friends at work. I don't know. You will find your way. You will find your way. I cannot tell you. There's no playbook of how to behave when you come to the US, because everybody's case is different. Your host is going to be different. They are going to advise you on different things. You might want to go back to school and start life here. You might want to start looking for a job right away. So it's just the ability to know that there will be changes. There will be changes, and how quickly are you able to adapt to those changes? Okay. Kijana Mkuu, between USA Army, Navy, and Air Force, which one is better as a new immigrant from Africa? I think joining the military is a choice. It's a choice. It's an individual choice. It's a personal choice. As far as the differences between this or amongst these three, I would be lying if I know the difference. Maybe reach out to John Duty TV. He would have more information about that, but I don't know the difference. I just know that there are benefits to joining the military and accelerating your citizenship. Okay. Can someone get returned from port of entry? Yeah, they can. They can, and that's very sad. H1 and HB visas. So right now, let's concentrate on the diversity visa, because I've already been talking for like an hour and 15 minutes. Barbara Sierra, you're saying it's 3:40 p.m. And David is watching from Kakamega. Sasa, David, how are you? Denver, I don't see the application for upcoming year. Is it open or not? It's not open yet. That's why you can't see it. That's why you can't see it. Hata mi naangalia. This is where I check. Let's see. Is this where you're going? Everybody, is this where you guys are going to check? Are you going here to check the US Department of State Electronic Diversity Visa Applicant Entry System? This is where we are checking. This is where everybody's checking and it's still not ready. I just refreshed it and it's still not open. So that's why you're not able to see. Okay, that's the same one. Okay. Chris, watching from St. Kitts in the Caribbean. All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So October 16 is when the DV lottery will be opened. Yeah, it's all speculation. So every day I check it. Every day I check it to see whether it's open. But even before we go there, they will have an announcement. They'll have an announcement and we'll all know. And we will be posting everywhere. I'll post it on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I'll let so you won't be left out. Okay. I think it will be open from mid-October. I heard the rumors. Who's spreading the rumors? Denver. Who is spreading the rumors? Okay. So let me, I'm going on TikTok just to see if there's any questions, and on YouTube, you can just hang around and see maybe there's a question that you have been thinking about also, and you might benefit from that question. Actually, there was some questions on YouTube. Let me see if I'm able to screen share. Kennedy Okumu watching from Beta. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Let me see if I had some questions on under this video right here. Okay. Great info, but $1 fee for payment. How to solve that problem from Ethiopia. So they haven't told us how we're going to pay. I'm thinking it's going to be a debit card, credit card, or prepaid card. Solomon is saying, hello, Lucy. I'm Wami from Ethiopia, particularly 2NL. Is going slowly. That makes us to worry. Do you think, is there any hope for AF, case number AF 25K of DV 2026? So they have just started processing, and right now the cutoff for Africa is 17,500. That is where the cutoff is. So those cases are current. So US could be in the next visa bulletin. I hope that we'll be able to move forward and you can get your second notification letter. Tamid is saying, I have a question. For the DV lottery, the required fee is $330. Is this fee for each person? For example, there are 3 members in my family, me, my wife, and our 2-year-old child. In that case, do I also have to pay $330 for my child? Yes, it's $330 per person, and it is not refundable. Noor says, when will the DV lottery application start? It hasn't started. They have not announced. And then Anaru says, let me know when do we need a passport to apply or not. It hasn't been verified. A lot of people asking about the passport. So those are some questions from YouTube. Ruby says, why the DV lottery site not working? It's because they haven't opened it yet. It's because they have not opened it. And then the king says, can I play as a married, include my wife, and my wife also play as married to have 2 chances? Yes. This is one of the only times that 2 entries are accepted. But you have to be legally married, not just come we stay, not just cohabitating. All right. Watching from Cameroon. Thank you. Moses is saying thank you for important updates. People asking about the passport, we've already answered that. And somebody saying from Java, East Africa, Uganda particularly, hope and faith is what we have. May Allah bless you this time. All right. I wish you all the best as you continue to wait for the entry period to be open. Okay. Rumors from YouTubers. Oh, they're the ones saying that it's gonna be mid. Okay. Okay. Somebody's asking about which state are cheaper for new immigrants. So first, it depends on most of the time when you arrive here, you go to where your host is, at least for the few weeks or for a few months. And then you start figuring out what do you want to do in your life. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to go to school, then you have to find a school and maybe you have to move to that state. As far as cheaper, you have to look at the taxes. You have to look at the job market for different states. So you have to do your own comparison and see which one is the best fit for your whatever you need to do. Somebody's saying Texas is cheaper, also no state tax, but need to deal with that high heat. Yeah, man, it's hot. It's hot over there. People keep saying, am I going to move to Texas? Because a lot of Kenyans have moved there. They used to live in Delaware and they have moved to Texas. So I'm like, I don't know. Too much heat. Too much heat. Prime News Network, how will we pay the $1 fee? Once they open the registration period, they're going to let us know how to pay. But for right now, the only thing they're saying is that it's going to be on a US government portal. Most likely it's going to be linked to the entrance website where we usually go and put in the entry, and then it will direct you to another portal where you're going to make your payment. But they have not answered us that question yet. We're still waiting. Let's see on TikTok. How much do you, Skoibra says, how much do you pay for interview? Do you pay as an applicant or all the interviewees? You pay for yourself and for all the applicants. You pay for yourself and for all the applicants. Jamie on TikTok is saying, hi, Auntie Lucy, did they announce the dates now? Not yet, not yet. You texted me this morning. No, 6 hours ago. No, they have not. Eugene is saying my case number is for 2026 DV is low, but I haven't received my 2NL. Only because they just started the processing. So when you say that it's slow, I don't know. I don't know how low it is. Kwesi Cypher says, can I change my interview location at this point since they said interview must be done at your country of residence? So I would, right now, because I don't even know what's going on with this government as far as immigration. Right now, if you're saying that your interview, and I think that's the same question that Ben is asking at the same time as I was reading this one. Tell us more about the new policy where DV winners from Nairobi can't switch to another embassy to do their interviews. They are trying to restrict that movement of cases from one embassy to the other. Unless it's completely necessary for you to do that, they are recommending that you should keep your embassy. So right now, I would not be moving my cases until we get more information about where this is going. So I would not move my case. Hi, Lucy. If I'm a DV 2026 winner, can I try my case chances for DV 2027? That is missing the local agro farm. Yes, you should. You should. You should. I want to read something about people who have received their 2NLs and they have scheduled their interviews. I have received several of those. And now that I'm on live, I can't I can't find them. I can't find them. I have those messages of people who have been invited for interviews. Okay. Somebody is offering their services. They're saying, I think Running Man 411 is saying, thanks for the information about the $1 registration fee. I'm in Liberia and would like to help my community where many don't have Visa cards. Can I use my Visa card to make the $1 payment? Yes, you can pay it for them and then they'll refund you in cash or whatever. I think so. I think that's allowed because I don't think the card number, the name, the owner of the card is linked to the application. They just need to see proof that you have paid. So there's a question from Global Health. I'm a DV winner and I had included my kids who's for the whole process. I asked my ex divorced and he refused to let them go on with the process. What should I do? So when it comes to children under 21 and unmarried, if you add them on your DS 260 and on the whole process, there has to be consent from the other partner for you to travel with them. If there's issues with that, then you may have to include a lawyer or you may have to wait and then file for your kids when you get here. Miss Tanzila is saying it's official. October 16th is the date. You can go to bed now. Who told you that? Who said that? Oh man, there's no confirmation to that. Where is your evidence? Where's your source? Hmm? Where do you get your information from? Essie is asking, does a 3-year-old is a 3-year-old charged for the whole process just like an adult, including the flight? So as far as the visa fees, they are the same for everybody. I think the only changes that could happen depending on the age is the medical fees and the flight. So the flight charges might differ by age. Barbara, I have my DV lottery interview in 2 days. What do you recommend to prepare? Also, the website says the payment must be in US dollars in cash. Is that still in US dollars in cash? Is that still correct? Barbara, where are you? Which country? Which country? Because I know some people from Kenya have made the payment when they went for the interview. But even if you're paying it in cash, make sure it's the equivalent of $330. So whatever your current your exchange rate is, multiply by 330, and then multiply by your currency, and then make that payment. Congratulations on your upcoming interview. Just I'm sure by now you know what's in your DS 260. You've rehearsed those answers. That's pretty much it. And then make sure you bring your documents with you. Somebody says Javan on TikTok. How do you book the appointment to visit the embassy? I can't find the link on their website. I don't know whether you're talking about the DV lottery or the Kenyan embassy to book an appointment for a passport. The embassy here in DC, I'm not sure which one you are talking about. African Black Butte says, waiting for the next bulletin, case number is 28K. Yeah, I hope that your case will be current the next time when we get the next bulletin. All right. There's somebody here who got an interview. Let's see. Sir OT on TikTok says, I've been selected for interview on the 17th of November 2025, hoping for the best. So congratulations on that. So next month on the 17th, you'll be going for your interview. And so I wish you all the best. You say your case number was around 7.5 to 8K. And a lot of people wanted to know how you're planning to go about that and where you're from. And the embassy is Abidjan, Abidjan, Ivory Coast. So it looks like embassies are now starting to invite people for interviews. So as you continue to get your invitations for the visa interviews, please let me know. Keep us posted. Let me know which embassy you are, which region. Are you in Africa? Are you in Asia? Like, where are you from? Okay. So I'm checking to see if there's any other questions or comments. Just people saying to be patient, just be patient because everybody is panicking about their case number and not being called for their interviews yet. Yeah, because they're saying I just got an email that I've been scheduled for an interview on November 17th. Congratulations on that. If you have a high case number for 2026, like high in over 30K, over 40K, I would still apply for 2027 DV regardless. Okay. The Don says my case number lies between 21K to 22K, still trusting the process because the door God has opened, no one can shut it. That is true. That is true. I wish you all the best. Please keep us posted. Let us know what's going on. Jabari is saying, even if you do not require a passport to apply, it's always good to have a passport at any time. That's true. That is true. How come people don't want to get a passport? I don't understand. It's better to get the passport. Just apply for the passport. Sindio, just apply for it because by the time they announce that it's now a requirement, everybody now will be rushing to apply for passports, and then there'll be a delay and all that. Before you know it, the visa entry, the DV entry period is over. Benito Boss is saying 2NLs, they're not yet, guys. Let's keep waiting, but soon we will get our second notification letters. Okay. Any other questions? You can put your questions on the chat on YouTube. I appreciate you guys for being here. Prime News, Sula Nyambi, Suleiman from Uganda. I need to know whether the American Embassy in Nairobi have started interviewing 2026 selectees. Please and thank you. Has anybody from Nairobi received their 2NLs? Somebody's asking. Anybody from Nairobi Embassy, have you received your second notification letter, and when is your interview scheduled for? Okay, I'm checking to see if there's any. Once in a while, I like to go over your comments so that somebody can have a question here that can help somebody else. So. Okay. Nairobi, Chepkoech anasema Nairobi wamefika case namba ngapi? I also won. Chepkoech, what's your case number? Congratulations on being selected. Okay. Most of the questions are surrounding the question of when is the entry period, and we said we don't have that answer. We don't have the dates yet. Questions about the passport rule and questions about the $1. Okay. So Bonnie is saying, thank you for the photo video that you did. I'm already preparing to apply for the current DV program. I'm better equipped now. I appreciate you. I'm glad that it was helpful to you. Jamali is saying, why is this website not showing the beginning entry or anything? What is going on? It's because they haven't opened it yet. That's why. Me too. I'm worried. I'm concerned. I'm like, what's going on? Florence Manteca, my name is Florence. It's my first time to come to the US. Which documents should I have? I have a passport. What else? It's your first time to come to the US through which visa? Do you like, what do you mean? You're trying to apply to come to the US, or you've already been to the US, but you're also saying you have a passport? Like, what are you, which visa are you trying to come to the US with? Obviously, yes, you need a passport, but it depends on the particular visa type that you want to come to the US with. The Unscrambled 114 says, I have a question. I'm a single mother having two kids. One is at 19-year old and the other one is 16. Can I add them? But when I get selected, the one with 19 years to process only his visa and leave the other one who is 16. So if you want to travel with the 19-year-old, then that's fine, but you still need to schedule a visa appointment for the 16-year-old because they cannot come to the US without a visa. I hope I understood what you're saying. They don't have to come at the same time to travel with you at the same time, but they both need a visa appointment. Joseph Kimani anauliza, alafu during the application ya DV kuna mahali unajaza host address ama city? Yeah, when you're completing the DS-260, there is a place that is going to ask you for your host information. Where are you going to stay? Yeah, who are you going to stay with, their address, and all that. Paula, my name is Paula from Loitoktok. From Loitoktok. I have my passport and my kids too. Okay, so good. So we're just now waiting for the entry period to be open, and then you can just make sure you have their passport photos. Do you have their passport photos, everybody? Or you're still typing your question? Kenley Othis, when will the DV Lottery 2027 be? We're still waiting for information about that. Princess Shazi says, there is a shutdown. Nothing is going on. Shutdown is not affecting the DV. When applying as husband and wife, can you use the same passport photos? Yeah. Gracious is saying, me, I'm confused. When is the exact date for 2027 DV? Hata mi sijui. I'm also confused. I don't know. Awilio. When is the opening DV this year? We're still waiting for that. Yeah, we're still waiting for that information. As soon as I find out, I will let you guys know. Hata mimi nangoja because a lot of people wait for my announcements because I go on this websites and I check for updates and then I do a video. So a lot of people are waiting for updates from my channels, from my platforms on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm not very active on Instagram, but I still post important things there, posts, and then on YouTube. So I'm also waiting. Paula, okay, so you already have their photos. So you look ready. You look ready. You look like you're just waiting for the dates to be announced. So all the best as you prepare. Make sure you go to that website that I was sharing earlier, travel.state.gov, and familiarize yourself with the process. It has steps 1 from the time you submit the entry, how to submit the entry, to the time you get to the United States. So those are like 10 steps. make sure you familiarize yourself with that website, travel.state.gov. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're here and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that when I upload a new video or when I announce that I'm coming on live, you will not miss the information that I have. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Oh, there's somebody that sent me a screenshot of something, and I wanted to see if anybody else received such kind of thing. And they didn't know what it was. They received an email from Kentucky Consular Center, and they were confused about what it is. Let me see if I can find that screenshot. Oh, I don't know if I can find it, but it was a message from Kentucky Consular Center saying that your case number is current, and people wanted to know what that means. What that means is that you are ready to go for an interview, and your embassy will now contact you so that you can go for your visa interview. So I think most of the questions are surrounding the DV entry period and the passport rule and the $1 fee, and that's it. So I'm going to take one more question and then we can call it a day. I'm texting from Africa. Do I need another document if my children are following me? What do you mean? Another document? Like what? You just need to make sure that the embassy is aware that you have to schedule a different appointment for them, but they do need to go for an appointment so that they can get the visa. They can follow you, they can come behind you, but make sure you're not using up your 6 months, okay? So they need to be in the US before the end of your expiration of the visa. All right, so I'm going to end the live now. So I thank you. Today we talked about the diversity visa program, just the basics. For people who are new to the diversity visa program, they don't know how it works. I showed you the website to go to, travel.state.gov, to familiarize yourself with what goes on with the program. We talked about the eligibility requirements, education by country of birth, the photo, how to enter, who can enter, the cost that is pending now, the $1 fee, where to apply, dvprogram.state.gov. We answered your questions and I responded to your comments. So if you're just joining in, you can replay this video. I'm sure the questions that are coming in now are asking things that we've already talked about for the past 1 hour and 43 minutes. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. If I get a chance to come on live on Friday, I will try to be here on a live, and because I'm working the weekend, so I might not be able to go live. I will not be able to go live on the weekend. But on Friday, make sure you stay tuned around at about this time. We can come back and see whether there are any updates. And if you have any other questions, we can just talk about that. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a good night if you're in Kenya or somewhere else and you're going to bed now or it's evening. I wish you well. I wish you well for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for hanging out with me today.